Ryan has recorded this episode in his Bentley, so apologies for the noise. And he nearly got a speeding ticket delivering this content, getting carried away with a lead foot. Anyways, in this episode, you'll learn how to make 1k a month with every deal you do if you follow this free training that Ryan delivers, that other so-called gurus will charge you thousands for. If you want to make more money now, this episode delivers exactly that. Be sure to go listen to part 2 tomorrow, right after this episode. Let me know what you think of this episode by leaving Ryan a review.
Hey podcasters, I hope everybody is well. Where are we now? It's literally nearly 7 o'clock on Sunday. It's nearly 7 p.m. I'm heading back to my house so I can watch, well, my house. I don't live in a house anymore. I live in a hotel. The hotel is mine, don't worry. I'm not just like renting a room in a hotel. I'm heading back to my home, which is a hotel which my company acquired during the lockdown. Now, I'm heading back, just to give you some background there, guys. Didn't want you thinking I live in a room in a bloody hotel. So I'm heading back to watch the Grand Prix. I've just bumped into a friend of mine, very, very good friend of mine from a very, very long time ago. Probably known him about 26 years, something like that. We just met in the Lidl car park or Aldi car park in, I don't know, on the side of the motorway somewhere, just on the edge of a little town. And yeah, good to catch up with some memories and some other bits and a bit of business and family and everything else. So that's good. It's always nice to get together and make sure everyone's all right and find out things that have been happening in their lives. Now, just heading back because the Grand Prix is on. The Grand Prix, what is it? The Spanish Grand Prix. I've got Sky, but I've been out all day, so I've got the F1 channel, so I've missed it. But obviously I'm going to watch the replay on Channel 4. I've avoided the radio, avoided the news, avoided social media all day because I don't want to see the results. I don't want to know the spoiler. I don't want to know the end result because I like the feeling, the emotions, the ups, the downs, the oohs, the ahs, the on the edge of the chair, the punches, the crashes, the delays in the pit lane, the red flags and the, I don't know, just everything that you get with Formula One, which can turn everything on its head in a second. You know, reliability, crashes, Vettel being a dick and smashing into Hamilton because he's a sore loser and a little bitch. And we have no time for Vettel at all because he's useless, absolutely useless. Any Vettel fans out there, you might as well start supporting Max Verstappen, mate. Vettel's dead. He's finished. The critics were all right. He could not actually drive anything apart from the fastest car in the front. Okay, sorry if you can hear that noise, guys. I'm in the Bentley at the moment, and it's loud. I've just opened it up on the motorway, going up this hill. So sorry about the deep bass. I'm podcasting in my car, and believe me, it's much better now to podcast in a Bentley than it was in a BMW before. So yeah, really enjoying podcasting from the car. Just hope the noise isn't too much for you guys in the background. Okay, so yeah, Vettel. Any Vettel fans out there? You could drive the fastest car, the Red Bull, from the front, but he couldn't come through the pack. He can't overtake. He just hasn't got it. Who else? Who couldn't drive the fastest car from the front? Exactly. But when you're up against it, when there's problems, when there's challenges, reliability issues, 3 fucking tyres, like Hamilton, who's the one that always comes through shining? Hamilton. Vettel just hasn't got it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm heading home now to watch the Grand Prix. But before I do, I want to talk to you guys about making some money from property, some deal structures, making some money from property, guys. That's why we're here. I hope you guys have been getting some value from these episodes. So I want to take you through a deal structure right now. There's a little smart car that's in front of me. I'm trying to open this up. There's a little smart car. Let's go past it. On the inside. There we go. Done the smart car. Actually, I better slow down. This isn't good. There we go. Take out sports mode. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Getting excited. Yeah, so back on track. I want to talk to you about deal structure, making some money from property right now. Where are we? Middle of August? Okay, what is the season? The season for property right now in one particular area that I want you all to be aware of and be conscious of, because if you do exactly what I say, you will make a lot of money right now from property. So are you ready? Get a pen, get a piece of paper. This is free content to guarantee that if you follow these steps, you will make a lot of fucking money from property. But there's a very, very, very small window, guys. A very small window. This only opens up for a very short period. And that period is opening up any minute now, and it lasts about 1 month. So if you can imagine, for 1 month a year is where there's a lot of opportunities to be had to make a lot of money and lock this in for another whole year, okay? Now, I did lots of these deals last year. I've already started doing these deals again this year because the window of opportunity is opening any minute now. I would even say from now, like tomorrow, Monday, when you're back in the office, back at work, is when this actually opens up, okay, guys? Properly, it opens up. And as we get closer and closer and closer to the end of the month, it gets more urgency. Because as we get over the next over the next 2 weeks up until the 1st of September is when it will be at its peak, at its pinnacle, but there may not be as many deals left, and then it falls off the edge of a cliff, okay? So the deals are around right now, if you listen exactly what I'm saying, okay, guys? This can generate £1,000 a month per property. Everything is already done. You don't need any HMO license and all of this other crap and fire doors and all of these hard things and jump through all of these hoops and bend over backwards and all these regulations and red tape. Fuck that. You don't need any of that. That's all done for you, okay? If you do exactly what I'm about to share with you now. I'm getting a bit excited there, guys. Spitting everywhere. And I'm getting a sore throat because I'm just high, just excited to share this with you guys. Right. This is how to make money right now in August and the very first week or so of September. This lasts about a month. Now, as you can understand, the student market, don't worry, don't think it's loads of hassle, it's lots of hard work, just forget that at the moment. All I want you to do is think about student properties for the moment. Student properties, okay, guys? What are they? They're already HMOs. They're already fully licensed. The license is already in somebody else's name. They've already got the fire doors, the main smoke alarms, the fridges, the minimum room sizes, all the rules and regulations. They're already done because these are existing student properties. Now, this is where the hook, this is where the angle is. There's less and less and less students coming to every city in the UK right now. And if you're in a city that's geared with more language students, more international students, more students from outside of the city that travel to the city to study. Maybe it's a good university, maybe they have a particular thing there, or an EF language school there, or maybe it's a destination for lots and lots of international students, okay? They're fucked. Well, let me tell you why they're fucked briefly. Because COVID, that all you guys here will be fully aware of and know about, travel restrictions, quarantine, travel bans, less people going to unis, more online courses, more unis encouraging people to work from home, do it remotely, etc., all online on the internet because of what's happened with COVID. What does that mean for the properties and the market and the demand in those areas that there's shitloads of student properties already? What does that mean? It means there's a hell of a lot of student properties available, but the lowest there has ever been, probably for a decade, of students, which are tenants, to take those properties. So where's the opportunity? If you haven't seen it already, let me share it with you now. These landlords, okay, would have to leave their properties empty from the first week in September if they haven't secured a group of students. Let me say that again. These landlords that were getting on average £500-600 a month for a room in a student shared house, 5 rooms, £3,000 a month. The house probably rents for about £1,000 a month as a family house, £3,000 a month, rooms as a fully functional HMO for students. Can you see that arbitrage? When they haven't rented it to a group, and trust me, we're in the business, we're in the market, okay? When they haven't rented it to a group from like January is when they've paid. They've signed up. The guarantors have signed up. They paid the money. They've signed the contracts. We're now in fucking August, about to hit September. So any of them that you see on the internet that are available, believe me, they will be crashing the prices. However, not visibly crashing the prices. They'll be accepting an absolute rock bottom price. And let me explain why.
Let me step in real quick. I share a ton of business and investment tactics on this show. And it's a shame that there's no interaction on a platform like this, which is why I've created a Facebook community group called Property Crash Course, where I get to answer all of your questions. So you just post a deal or post a question and I'll show you where the money is in your deal or answer your question for you. So help me to help you in your business right now by asking me anything you need help with. Does that sound fair? Just go to Facebook and then search the groups and then type in Property Crash Course.
Last year, we picked up a hell of a lot of student properties. Now, we didn't even want to rent to students. We just wanted fully licensed HMOs that somebody else has done everything to, all the work to, but not paying HMO prices. There's only one way to get that, and that is going shopping for student properties now from this week until early mid-September. And the reason for that is if they haven't already found the group, the landlord or the agency, they haven't already found the group, which is by definition, if it's advertised to let, they haven't found the group, okay? If they haven't got the group by the first week in September, what happens? There's no more students coming anyway. They're all in. There's no more. So what does that mean for landlords and investors and agencies? They sit empty until the following year. Now, let's imagine your mortgage is, say, £700 a month, okay? The local market rent on one of these houses would probably be around about £1,000 on average, okay? But because they get £600 a room, that's £3,000 a month. That's a £2,000 above the market rent. So how low can the landlord go if his target market is the students, but there is no students? He wants to now just hedge until next year, let the agency remarket the property, find the group that's signed up probably as soon as possible, like between now and January for the next year, 2021 to 2022, okay? So what does he do? His mortgage is £700 a month. The local market rent is around about £1,000 a month. The student rent per room is around about £3,000 a month. So he's got around about a £2,400 margin, £2,300 margin to come down to break even, okay? So what do? You approach agents, you approach landlords, you approach investors, anybody who has a student property to rent, okay? You approach them and you say to them, if you haven't found a group of students, I will rent the property from you on a short let basis, which will be less than a year, because they want the property back for the 1st of September, trust me, for the next group next year to move into. So you do a deal with them and say, I will take the property from you for the full term from whenever it is, if you don't get a group of students, 7th of September, all the way through until the 1st of September 2021. I know that you had it up for this much. That just doesn't work for me. I'm happy to pay around £1,200, £1,300, £1,400 a month for that property, and I pay all the bills. So there's no voids, no fees, no bills, no council tax. So you've saved £300 a month there. If your mortgage is £700 and I'm paying you £1,200 and I'm paying the bills, which is equivalent to £1,300, you're making £600 a month on top of your bills. Does that make sense? Instead of the alternative. What's the alternative? Well, let me tell you what the alternative is. The fucking house sits empty for a whole fucking year. I had to swear there to accentuate that point. The fucking house sits fucking empty until the next fucking year. Trust me, there is loads of these properties that sit empty with agents because they haven't rented it. And they have no other option. They don't want to crash the price, so publicly they see it and it devalues it. And then the agent has got it at a really low price, and then people see it, and then they can't rent it for next year because this year they've seen it. It was 3,000, now it's fucking 1,500. That people just don't look at it and they can track the prices on the internet and everything else. So the agents won't crash the price like that. However, when you ring them and when you say to them, this is exactly what I do, nothing else. We bridged the gap. Anything you haven't rented, call me and we'll do a deal. It won't be the student rental market, room rental market rent we pay. We pay the local AST rent, which is like a single family home. Yes, you may have been getting 3,000. We will pay about 1,300, okay? If you have anything that's empty, anything you haven't rented, call me. I'm in the market to do as many of these as you have. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to start to get some phone calls. You'll start to get some messages. You'll start to get some emails. You'll start to get some links. What do you think of this? How much would you pay? We're struggling with this one. We haven't rented this one. What do you reckon? The agent's now got it on. Or the landlord is now instructing another agent to give it the last push, etc. So they don't want to lose the fees, the commission. So they want to do deals. And believe me, they will be working with you and for you to do everything they can to get it rented, to get another deal over the line for their landlord. Their stats, their books, their turnover, their fees, their targets. So everybody is happy. You get a very low rent. The landlord gets a property that's let. The agent gets a commission, the management fees, the finding fees, the inventory fees, the renewal fees, all the other fees, whatever they charge. So everybody in the loop is happy. They've just taken a hit on the price. But it's still better than it sitting empty where nobody gets anything. Does that make sense? Okay, so what takeaways have you got from this? Actually, before we get to the takeaways, I'm not talking about bloody food takeaways, Deliveroo. Takeaways from this episode, okay? So before we get there, you're probably thinking, well, what do I do with it? What do I do with it? What am I going to do with it if I get this bloody property? That's a student property, and I've secured it, and I've got it at half the fucking rent. What am I going to do with it? Well, let me tell you what to do with it in the next episode. Listen to the next episode. This is exactly what you need to do once you've secured the HMO property, the student property, how to get it back up from the 1,000, 1,200 or 1,300 you're paying back up to $3,000 a month or close. In the next episode, guys.
He's a #1 Amazon bestseller. He's an NLP manipulator. He's a property course seller. He's a Lamborghini driving multi-millionaire property guru. Forget that same old boring I am me narcissistic podcast format, because nobody gives a fuck. This podcast is all about you. So I'm taking these few seconds to thank you for subscribing, to thank you for leaving your 5-star reviews, and thank you for sharing this show with all of your friends. My team and I will keep bringing you these episodes and answering all of your burning questions in my Facebook community group called Property Crash Course. If you can just keep telling all